rugged mountains to endless golden pastures and eucalypt-fringed rivers, the southern Grampians region is a welcome touch of old country Australia. Another stunning feature is Rocklands Reservoir, one of the larger water reservoirs in Victoria. A dam across the Glenelg River was constructed during the 1950s, forming the reservoir, which stretches across 67 square kilometres of spectacular landscape. Rocklands is a stunning freshwater fishery, already known for its redfin, but things are getting better thanks to the ongoing native fish stocking programs from the Victorian Fisheries Authority. I'm lucky to be fishing Rocklands with Mark Ainsworth from the Victorian Fisheries Authority. Mark has played an important role in the stocking of native fish into Rocklands, and he loves coming back here to see how the stockfish are faring. But before any of that, he likes to secure his dinner by catching himself a feed of Rocklands redfin.
I tell you what, half a dozen of them you got to feed, right?
Yeah, they don't have to be big.
They are a beautiful fish, yeah, also known as English perch, of course.
Look at those fins, look at the colours on them, amazing. I might put that in the well.
Yeah, we get enough of them, we've got to feed. Yeah, great.
Any which way we can at the moment. They taste amazing, so even though people love catching yellows and Murray cod, you know, people in the Wimmera just love their reddies.
Easy to clean too.
Easy to clean, firm white flesh, and you can catch a few of them, a number of them, so even if they're not much bigger than that, you take home a beautiful feed of fresh fish for the family. And
yeah. Schooling fish, and where you find one, you find more, so we'll see if we can upsize.
About your turn, isn't it?
Yeah, I might have to switch the bait yet. We'll see how we go.
Despite their notoriety as an introduced species, redfin have been happily accepted by Aussies because they taste amazing and they're fun to catch.
There we go, Mark.
Oh, hello. Get the net.
Yeah, righto. That's a nice fish.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a reddy, it'll be a behemoth.
Oh, there's a cracker reddy. It's a big reddy. All right, you bring him to me, mate. You bring him to me.
That is a horse.
They're here. You can't rush it. They eventually come on the chew, or you go through past a hungry one. And look at this, we've got a trophy redfin on here.
Oh.
Well done, mate.
Oh, mate, that is a redfin and a half, isn't it?
All right, you get him up and have a look, mate. It's your fish. That's dinner right there.
Oh.
That's a cracking redfin. There we go.
That's my best reddy in a while, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a ripper. He's got to be... Oh, got to be 40 centimetres, doesn't he? Easy.
What a belter. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Class table fish. It's a perch.
What do you think? A bit of beer better?
Oh, mate, back at the lodge or back by the camp, whatever, either way.
Now, I'm just going to put him in the net.
Yep.
But that's what Rocklands is famous for, and what people come to Rocklands and have for decades is really good reddies.
Yep. But you've got something even better for us, Mark.
Well, we have started stocking yellow belly and Murray cod.
Yep.
We've put in over 3 million native fish in 5 years.
Yeah, wow.
It is the most aggressively stocked lake in the country, and we're trying to make it the Lake Eildon of the West.
Yeah, and it's got the habitat, it's got the timber, and we're going to learn more about all that. But so as good as I could sit here all day, but it's time to go and hunt natives, right?
I think it's time for a yellow.
Unreal.
Sometimes referred to as yellowbelly, goldens or callip, golden perch are a popular and much sought after native fish.
We're on the hunt for gold here, and there's many ways to catch them. This is a classic way, isn't it, Mark?
It is. Lures at timber.
Yeah, right.
Hard to beat.
It all looks the same, right?
But it's not.
Some better than others?
A lot better. So complexity is your friend here.
We're in full hunt mode now, and this is the sort of fishing that Mark and I really enjoy, casting to structure. And we've got an example here in front of us of a log that has just got everything. Mark, tell us about it.
It's a tree that's fallen down, and it's giving you little clues that it's there and that there's more to it. So little clues about roots once you know what you're looking for, and little clues about a log that's at a strange angle. Sometimes it's only when you get really close that you realise But once you get that eye in,
Yeah.
then the fish come.
It's a perfect lay down bit of timber and the fish can swim up and down along it rather than just a single standing piece. So there you go. Perfect native fish habitat.
Get the net, Robbie.
Oh, I'm ready. Net man.
Net man, at Gold, we have struck it.
Ah, don't you love it when a plan comes together?
Now that is no giant, but that will be one of the 3.5 million natives we've stocked since 2017. Look at that.
Beautiful. You can see where they get their name, golden perch or yellow belly.
Maybe 40 centimetres.
Yeah.
And he's wanted that lure.
Yeah, okay.
Let's put him in the net.
Yeah, yeah. Keep him wet because we're going to let him go. So we'll keep him wet for a minute. So I'll just get him there, let him out. Look at that. Oh, beautiful.
Fantastic, mate.
Now, if you wanted to feed, they are a great fish. In years gone by, I would have said keep redfin and let the golden perch go because there wasn't as many, but you're changing that now.
We are. We're stocking so many. If you want to take a few for a feed,
Yeah.
that's absolutely fine. And that sort of size is perfect.
First class, high fat content, great on the barbecue, great steaming. But let's talk about where we caught this fish, mate. Tell me about this tree, what you liked about it.
I like it that it's big and it's old and that most of its branches at the top are not there.
Yeah, so they've
And
fallen in.
In a lake, that
Yeah.
means they've fallen in. And where are they most likely to be? Around the bottom. And we get a few clues with some snags. And he came from a classic yellow belly lie, which is a horizontal log. One of these branches fallen down, lying on the side.
Yeah.
The lure comes along the side of that log and whammo.
Wow. And of course, when you've got that log laying along the bottom, okay, the fish can lay along it beautifully. So lay down timber, fantastic. One piece of essential gear when you're casting around structure like this is a good pair of polarised sunnies. Now, I love my tonics, so I know that I can clean dust and salt off and they don't scratch. But also these ones are photochromatic, so as the sunlight drops and it comes into peak bite time, these lenses lighten up so I can still see in the water and still see where I'm casting. It's a huge advantage.
Wow! Oh my goodness! Look at that!
This place is full of
Robbie!
That's one of the biggest bass I've ever seen. My goodness, we're gonna have to measure him. That is just a we thought we had a cod on. It's still a native fish. That is just a huge bass. Let's get a look at him. That's just a massive, massive bass. Jesus.
Well, I think that's better than any bass I caught in Queensland.
Oh man, that is just a donkey of a bass. Look at that. That guy there.
Wow.
Well, he's got to be 50 centimetres. He's just a ripper. Oh, there you go, another native fish. Well, you're not stocking these, right? But they're still here.
They're still here and highly valued.
Yeah.
So let's pop him in the net and then we'll, I think we'll let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to. A fish like that, it's a trophy bass.
Oh, fantastic. We'll measure him up before we do that. Oh, Rob, 49 centimetres. That's my new PB.
That's unreal. That is unreal. They're fishing just full of surprise. I mean, you're stuck in this place with golden perch and Murray cod. Like, there's no tomorrow, but there's still bass and stuff in here. So, another reason to visit.
Yeah, another reason to visit. Yep.
That's a huge bass.
The Southern Grampians, or Greater Hamilton region as it's also known, is diverse and beautiful, with landscapes that just take your breath away. You'll discover quaint country towns like Balmoral, nestled among the rolling hills and magnificent red gums on the Glenelg River.
It's not only the impoundments that you can fish here in the Southern Grampians, but there's lots of other options like the Glenelg River here. Lots of fishing access points. You can free camp all along it. A wonderful spot to roll out a swag and just enjoy a magic Aussie experience.
Coleraine is another local gem. It just gives you the feel of a country town of years gone by. Apart from the fresh barista-made coffee, that is. It's also got its own chocolate factory. Fish can't resist lures and bait, and and I can't resist chocolate.
Oh, thank you. I love my chocolates. I'm cleaning the place out.
Beautiful. Oh.
I just should have just said one of everything. Who'd have thought a tiny little country town like Coleraine here would have its own chocolate factory? Fresh chocolate's made out the back. It's just one of the many surprises in the Greater Hamilton region.
Not far from Coleraine is Konongwatong Reservoir. Recognised for its Indigenous heritage, it's also a popular site for walking, birdwatching and, of course, fishing.
Right on the edge of the weed beds.
You're on again.
Yeah, you're going to have no problem catching a feeder reddies, but a little bit of strategy helps. Russell's got a soft fibre which casts a long way and sinks quick and covers a lot of ground, and I've got a soft plastic on once you find a school. You can slow up and use a little plastic like that little...
Good, healthy little reddy.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mate, just your store in town.
Robinson Sports Scene.
It's
yeah.
unique.
It is unique, mate. We can trade in a firearm on your fishing gear, and when you're finished using that, mate, I'm happy to trade that in on a set of lawn bowls. So a little bit different as far as fishing shops go.
Unreal. Look at that, another beautiful reddy. And that's your average size. You do get big ones, but you know, you get half a dozen of them and you got a cracking feed on your hand. A little sun shower coming here, liquid gold, I think Russell called it, but basically you can catch these guys all day long if you stay till dusk. You're likely to get a trout or a bigger redfin, but we've still got a lot to see and do here in the Greater Hamilton region.
The thriving town of Hamilton has been the epicentre of the region's farming district for over 160 years. Its centrepiece is Lake Hamilton.
Just having a quick flick at Lake Hamilton, it's only a few minutes out of the centre of town where there's great coffee and good food, and what an amenity this is. The bike track goes right around the lake, so kids come out fishing, people who visit the area have got good access to the water. You can boat on the lake, and I tell you what, whether you're just passing through or stopping in, you'd be mad not to have a cast for the redfin and trout that are in here.
While you're here, check out the amazing sundial, symbolising the region's Indigenous influences and history.
It depicts some of the very interesting things that are in this area, right up to the Grampians, down to the coast, and it tells stories of totems to the Dreamtime and things like that. It tells relevant stories of the history here, and I think it's so informative that I think it's one of the best signposts in the southwest.
Just like he does on his cultural tours, Uncle Johnny offered some great insights and advice. He also suggested I visit Camp's Motor Museum, and I'm so glad he did.
That's it. There's a trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
What I love about coming in here is to see all the old cars, and I found my first car up the back, which I had on the farm, a HT.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's 1 year off, it's the HT, but column shift 186. And just looking at that and looking inside, they give you goosebumps. And I'm betting a lot of people come in and say, you know, that was my parents' first car, or that was my first car, yeah? I mean, anyone can appreciate an old car, but motoring enthusiasts just must spend hours in here, hours. It's an absolute must-see.
Well, that was a gas, and such lovely people too. Time to wet the whistle, and some of the local pubs in the Greater Hamilton region are legendary waterholes. My fave is the Bunyip Hotel in Cavendish. Former head chef from the illustrious Sydney restaurant scene, Jimmy Campbell, now delivers delectable dishes at the Bunyip.
The Bunyip Hotel here in Cavendish is pretty famous for its food and beverages, but being right on the Wan River, not surprisingly, the chefs and staff often wear the line. I'll be doing the same if I worked here.
Right behind the hotel, the Settlers Walk weaves its way along the banks of the river. It's a great stroll, and there's fishing there too. Find out more about the Southern Grampians region at visitgreaterhamilton.com.au. As stone's throw from Rocklands Dam and Reservoir, you'll find the cosy Rocklands Lodge. It's lovingly cared for by Tony and Matthew Carr.
Mate, what a spot. How's the view?
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
That's all the Victorian Ranges part of the Grampians, Rob.
Yep.
And the Glenelg River starts up there, flows down through here and goes all the way down to Nelson.
Unreal. And, mate, the lodge here, absolutely adore it. Tell me a bit about it.
Oh, look, the lodges here, we're all set up for big family reunions, fishing clubs, etc. like that. We're able to sleep around 70-odd people.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity to get all the family together, back underneath the one roof.
Yeah.
You know, everyone cooking, cleaning and laughing and just having a great time, yeah.
And real privacy here. I mean, at the end of the road, no one comes through. It's all yours here.
That's true. And we've got the beach down there, they've got the water down there, so we're all the water sport activities.
And Maddie, your role is second in charge.
Being second in charge, I meet the newcomers and give them a bit of a tour.
You get to take the tour, and I've done the tour. It is amazing, so he does a great job.
Thank you very much.
I've got to say, this is one of the best fishing lodges in the freshwater I've seen in my whole time of travelling in Australia. It is fantastic.
Yeah, cheers, Rob.
Yeah, I
no,
really
thank
just
you.
feel right at home. It's really laid back, and it's got everything you want for that just humble little holiday. You've got it all to yourself. It's a
cheers.
great job you do, boys. Mark, I am absolutely loving this place. I mean, pull up on the bank, you can flick a lure, flick a bait, cast a fly. And besides being able to pull up on the bank or full drive in, free camping around the whole lake whenever you want. You don't even have to call up. That is gold.
It's great, isn't it? Rocklands is virtually surrounded by state forest, so there's free camping everywhere. And that's a swag with a four-wheel drive or a caravan, like whatever takes your fancy. And on sunset, flick a yabby out, scrubby, and you're in with a good chance at a yellow cod ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And as good as it is, it's going to get a whole lot better in years to come, right?
It is. We have stocked 1 million cod and yellows last year. We're going to do another million this coming summer.
Unreal.
And it's all part of our record stocking. 10 million fish. No other state in Australia is doing it.
Yeah.
But it's fishing licence fees at work. Go Fishing Victoria plan. And Rocklands is going to be the Eildon of the West in years to come.
And speaking of that, there's a particular reason you're pouring so many natives into here. It's just not for any reason. I mean, it's suited to it, right?
The fish habitat here is outstanding. There's weed beds, there's rock banks, and the standing trees are just... There's almost nowhere else like Rocklands in Victoria. It's so much timber, and as those fish grow, those yellows and cod, that's where they're going to live.
Yeah, so all that habitat means they survive, right? So 5-10 years' time, everyone's going to be coming in.
I'll be back.
Me too, I'll be back next year. It is gold. It's a really good job you're doing. All right, let's have a flick on sunset, mate. We might get one yet.
Sounds good.
Mark.
Rob.
Yeah, mate, we've had to work for it, but that's native fishing are just, well, I'm assuming it's a native, it's slugging it out like a golden. They just, I mean, it's cold, it's not exactly good conditions, but there's always a part of the day where they switch on, right? You've got to stick at it, don't you?
This low light, the sun's pretty much gone, and, you know, a lot of people would go home, but they...
Ooh, he's around a stick.
Feel like a yellow?
It does feel like a yellow. It's moving slow like a yellow. I've gone right down to light gear, and what I've done is I've put a yabby on the jig head, which is, yeah, you've got a bait, and you're walking up and down the bank, and it's a last resort. But, you know, you can be here on any given day and just lures bait, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 you've got half a dozen real quick. We don't know what switches on. Usually it's good warm weather that switches them on, but we just can't be sure, can we?
Good stuff. He's giving you a bit.
Yeah, I love getting them on light gear, and it is a golden. Yeah, look at that, beautiful.
Oh, fantastic.
That's a decent fish, mate. Let's get down in the water with him. That's the best way to handle him, isn't it?
Well done, mate.
Look at that.
That is a...
We struck gold.
yellow. Well done, mate.
Yeah, it's just, we've done a lot of native fishing over the years, and just how it is, you know. We've had to work hard to get a nice one today. Yes, you know, we have had it a bit easier at times here, but, you know, you just got to stick at it, dawn and dusk. And how old would that be? It's definitely a stocked fish, right?
That would be a stocked fish, and that's probably less than 5 years old.
Yeah, right.
It'll probably be from about 2017 or 2018, one of those big stockings.
Yep.
And the good news is that there's about 1.5 million more of these things still growing.
Yeah.
So it's only going to get better and better.
Yeah. You just got to come up here, give yourself a few days because they will come on the chew sometime during that period. You know, put your baits in the evening, lure cast during the day, just stick at it and you'll get one of these beautiful fish. You'll never forget your first golden perch. They're a magnificent fish. Oh, it hooks out, mate. Let's let this beautiful creature go.
Come and get him in a few years when he's even bigger.
And all his mates, millions of them. It's just a beautiful thing.
It's the end of another good day at Rocklands. There's probably never a bad one.
Oh, mate, I'm in love with this place. It's beautiful. It is fantastic.